Well folks, welcome back. There's a group on Facebook called the Frugal Film Club. It's for cheapskates like me who love film, but hate spending big bucks on it. The challenge is to shoot a cheap roll of film every month on a cheap camera. You've probably seen some other YouTubers get on board, the amazing Dave, the old camera guy, and the always delightful Molly from Eclectichrome. So I got this Olympus XA2 for $10, and that's Aussie bucks mind you. The flash unit doesn't seem to work, but the rest of the camera seems pretty schmick. I loaded some slightly expired Lomo 100 that I got for $3 Aussie bucks. I wanted to tell you about the time I met Dogbite Weston, but more about that later. I loaded the XA2 with cheap film and headed out west to the Fruit Bowl of southeast Queensland. Yes, I headed out to the beautiful Lockyer Valley with its miles of farmland and towns that dot the countryside, where silos stick out of the ground like pimples on a teenager's face, where the mornings are lazy, the sunrise is golden and the going is slow. Everything was going well until, by surprise, I see this fella laying on the ground. "You okay?" I yell out. He was too well dressed to be a bum, yet not dressed up enough to be recovering from the night before. I called out a few more times, only to find him surprised to see me. "What?" He looked directly at me, as if he'd not heard my previous calls. "Forgot me hearing aids. You need anything, son?" he continued. Well, as it transpired, I'd met the famous Dogbite Weston. You probably heard or read about him. I remember watching the news on the night it happened. His tale of infamy, a definite episode of Australian folklore. He assured me that everything written about him was a fabrication, not playing down his past or the vices that haunted him. His trademark shorts pulled up on the right-hand side, showing a considerable love bite, not from one, but 3 dingo bites over on Fraser Island. In his gruff, honest, yet refreshingly humble way, he talked about the God that forgave his past indiscretions, which turned out to be the same one that forgave mine. Now living a life on the straight and narrow, he declined my offer for a cuppa, and continued his story about the time he borrowed a motorbike and went up and over the top of Australia. He ended up in Karratha of all places, where he sourced some avgas for his motorbike and cooked his engine about 100 clicks out of town. To be honest, I didn't care if the tales were too tall to be true. I was thoroughly enjoying Dogbite's most eccentric company. Part of me thought his catalogue of sin and salvation was too tall to be true, but there was a gentle honesty of a man who'd walked over hot coals of hell and humbled himself in a way seldom seen. He accepted my invitation for a ride to nowhere in particular. His weapons of choice was his smartphone and a fancy schmancy drone. Later on you'll see the drone footage of me taken on his U-Butte machine. I was surprised to find that in a past life, Dogbite owned a successful video and media company. In our conversation it was clear he'd forgotten more than I could ever possibly remember about making videos. He generously dispensed his wisdom. I felt in those few hours I'd had a masterclass in things that I never even knew were things. The countryside was beautiful, and I found myself thoroughly enjoying using the Olympus XA2. Apart from some digicams, it's definitely the smallest camera I've had, and definitely the smallest film camera I've had. I can see why people love the XA range of cameras. It's certainly not as iconic as the original, but I love it nevertheless, especially for $10, and that's Aussie bucks, remember. Dogbite continued to find unique ways to take photos, which mostly involved him laying on the ground beside the road. I heard him grumble and groan, adjusting and readjusting to get the perfect composition. I quickly found out that one of his many eccentricities is being unsatisfied until he nails each and every composition. He delighted in showing me each image on the screen, walking me through how we approached each shot, discussing how it might be different if it was a video. "I never used this shot," he'd say, "but it was fun to take." In these moments, those casual intimacies, I suppose you'd say, Dogbite and I found a kindred connection. He wanted to capture it just because, just for the joy of it. The miles were slow but easy. We ping-ponged through the vast valley, through small towns to swan-filled lakes, to beautiful lookouts and past acres of stunning farmland. With telephone numbers exchanged and a "good-o, see you around, mate," I dropped Dogbite back at our initial chance meet. I don't know when I'll see Dogbite again, but I hope it's soon. I enjoyed the laid-back way he told tales of pain and peace, heartbreak and healing, vice and victory. My life was truly blessed from those few special hours. And as for the photos, well, if there's any nerds still watching, I developed them in Paranol S and scanned them with my Fujifilm X-T3. Let me know what you think. Love God, love others, and take time to listen.